They say Hollywood's a little loony. They don't know the half of it. Looney Tunes in Hollywood continues next on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Today, spend some time with Bugs and Daffy and see why film sets need insurance. Welcome to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Putting your hands in cement sure beats getting hit over the head with it. We'll return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Many actors chew up scenery, but Sylvester tries to chew up his co-star. We'll return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Forget duck season and rabbit season. Today, all they care about is award season. We'll return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Poor Daffy can't get a break in Hollywood, but he's an expert at getting a fracture. We'll return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. What's so big about actors doing their own stunts? Looney Tunes have done it for years. We now return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. This is your chance to see stars without getting hit over the head. We now return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Pepe LePew only does one take. It has nothing to do with talent. His co-stars just refuse to do any more. Now, back to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Only in Hollywood can you be around for decades and not age one bit. We now return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. We'll return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Daffy likes to make sure the movie is the only thing a director is shooting. We'll return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Rejection hurts, but for Looney Tunes, getting the role hurts a lot more. We'll return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. For the Coyote, on-set catering isn't just a nice perk, it's the only way he gets a meal. We'll return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. We now return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Critics call Coyote's performance dynamite, which is also what they call his favorite Acme product. Now back to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. People say those Hollywood agents stink, but not if you compare them to Pepe LePew. We now return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. They say you should never act with animals, and Elmer is proof of that. We now return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. If a director expects quiet on the set, he's clearly not directing Daffy. You're watching Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. There's one reason Porky doesn't win awards: the acceptance speech. You're watching Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Looney Tunes break box office records, but the breaking doesn't stop there. You're watching Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Nothing says Hollywood like Elmer Fudd, because he says Hollywood. We'll return to Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. You're watching Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Pepe LePew spends hours in the makeup chair, and that's just for cologne. You're watching Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Bugs is a song and dance man, even if he sometimes poses as a woman. You're watching Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network. Coyote doesn't like cliffhangers. Maybe that's why he runs off so many cliffs. You're watching Looney Tunes in Hollywood on Boomerang from Cartoon Network.